for it. They're going to try to take Duke's head off tonight by throwing haymakers. They will not just try to keep this one close, Chris.
We're underway here at Durham. High Point winning the draw, and that's something to keep an eye on, as the Panthers have used 8 different players to take draws this year. So that's a good sign, winning the first draw, but then turning it over right away back to Duke. Here comes Caputo. Will Duke try for early offense? They do, and they score. Joe Robertson, the rejuvenated one, gets Duke on the board early.
Tell you, Duke will make you pay for a turnover in the middle of the field. Caputo with the run out, and Robertson out against Carolina and Virginia in the ACC.
P.J. Peters was D'ing up O'Neill. Turnover by the Blue Devils. Looks like High Point wants to get out and run. This is Acra. D-Midi, he slows it down. Coach Torpy's going to make some changes.
Well, important that High Point keeps the Duke offensive midfielders on the field right now. See 51 Dyson Williams? He's really an attackman. That's a matchup if you're High Point you've got to capitalize on.
Here's Nolting looking to possibly come off that pick. Defender falls down and Nolting makes him pay.
This is exceptional strategy by High Point. They take the matchup behind the cage. That's called a big little pick. You've got a short stick midfielder and a defender involved in that pick action. And unfortunately, Chris, you mentioned Nakai Montgomery, 15 with the white jersey, left side of your screen. He's having a great, an incredible year when you watch the tape.
There's Robertson scoring again.
He can't miss. Senior from St. Anne's Belfield missed a year with an ACL. He's got to work out like it's packed down pretty hard. And that ball took a pretty wicked ricochet off the ground. It was a nice stop by Adler.
Solver trying to take advantage of the short stick. Now the slide comes back to Rogers. Rogers has Forsoli on him. Forsoli's missed a couple of games with injury, so he's back. Rogers got free, though, with the right scores.
Kevin Rogers, the transfer from Lynchburg.
Well, the fans love it when they take any opportunity to absolutely abuse you, and they did on that night. Good game brewing here. High Point and Duke tied at 2 early going. Very dangerous midweek game, and Duke knows about dangerous midweek games early against SoCon opponents. There's O'Neill.
This is ridiculous. Liquid smoke coming out of the right-handed release of O'Neill. Powerful lefty freshman, verbal Penn State back in 8th grade. Just look at him running downhill. We know he's got power. He can drop and hit you like a fullback does in football, but there's the speed component.
Precision cleared by Duke.
But Coach Janowski told us 2 days ago, one of the key focal points in this game was, dealing with High Points, full court press, their 10-man ride.
Here's Aiden Denenza, one of those freshmen getting some time. To Caputo, switches to his left and scores.
He is so shifty. I thought he had a great 2020 season before the pandemic hit. Swimming, left on an island on
the last year. He had Nakai, that group kind of running out of the second team, and as you mentioned, Montgomery has really gotten off to a great start this year. Now Sowers. That's Lowry. Lowry will fire and score. This is what we were talking about. We're going to go way down the roster here tonight, and a lot of Blue Devils are putting their names in the tally sheet so far.
Grad school student, a veteran. This guy has run a ton of shifts in his career. Practice it and coach it, and it shows up on game day.
Denenza, the true freshman. Slide comes. Now back up top to Caputo. Shorty on him again. Almost got underneath Clothier, but Clothier was able to close the gap. C51 Devin Williams.
That's a problem right there, that matchup.
Williams tried to make him pay, just losing it. Now gets it back in front and scores.
Dyson Williams now playing midfield for Duke on that lefty wing. O'Neill draws the eyes of the defense. A nice dish to Williams. Initially high.
And it was a crease violation, so yeah, Carpenter got into the crease. A lot of lines on this field tonight, yeah. Man up for another 15 seconds. Now they get the goal. And it's Cameron Moulay, who is the man-up specialist for Duke with his third of the year.
He called this one, Cotter, pregame. Moulay comes in on the extra man with Cambador no longer in the lineup. His first outing, Chris, he got yanked against Denver. He got pulled in his first outing as a Blue Devil. He's bounced back strong.
Now Sowers back at X. Looking to get free. He does and scores. That is quintessential Michael Sowers.
You can't cover him. You can't cover him. Little handshake and hug for Nakai. Split dodge, right to left. Bye-bye. See you later.
As is Owen Caputo's dad, an assistant coach on the team. Caputo now with the ball in his cross, number 13. His brother Jake also on the team, a defensive midfielder. Caputo got his left hand free and missed, but Duke is there to back it up. Aiden Denenza from St. Anthony's, number 88, super freshman. So is this guy, Brennan O'Neill. That's a big shot. Wow. That's his second hard shot of the night. Both of them have found the back of the net.
I mean, this is a disaster if you're a High Points defense. And John Danowski's guys get ball reversal to O'Neill, who's running downfield. Look at the approach. 60's got to come out there and try to stop the freight train coming. Club. Most hyped freshman that I can recall, Chris, since I've been covering the sport.
Naso now winning it to himself. Will he take a shot? Gets it out to O'Neill. He fires and hits the far corner.
He might have a date with SVP later tonight. He keeps this up.
How about
nice
the
handle
celly
off the face-off.
Like, yeah,
O'Neill, you know, week one, I was most impressed with the hustle plays he made. Chris, the ground balls, the riding. And now we're seeing his offensive game just skyrocket.
Davis Sampier winning the initial draw, but then loses it. This could be dangerous, really dangerous. O'Neill, forget about it.
Natural hat trick for O'Neill. 3 goals at 3 different varieties. Fast break, multiple pumps, and a dunk. He's 6'2", 230. He's got the body of a college senior. Stop
for High Point, taking over for Parker Green. This is going to be a delayed call against High Point.
See what Nakai Montgomery does with this matchup now. He's been really good this season at drawing double teams and moving into a teammate.
Easily beating Skirbo. And a nice feed and a finish by Robertson.
I mean, that's textbook. And the big music fan gets to play the guitar. This is why Nakai Montgomery is having an outstanding season. You plug in the tape, he's doing all the little things. Beats his man easily, dusts him, leaves him in, with distance. The double team comes, throws an accurate pass to Robertson, who I talked about earlier, his IQ. He knows the way defenses run.
Coach Danowski and his son Matt Danowski, the offensive coordinator. By the way, we should congratulate him on a great playing career. Just announced his retirement the other day. So Matt now concentrating on being the OC here at Duke with his dad on his staff.
Matt Danowski has been a staple of lacrosse college and pro.
Caputo finds the back of the net. It's a family affair here tonight in Durham.
This is a snappy release. There's his dad, Ron. Double team, drawn, move it on. If the defense doesn't rotate.
Him, number 19, as he has been all night. Sowers was trying to work a little two-man game there with the freshman Denenza.
Yeah, trying to get a switch of the matchup. Trying to make the defense switch.
Sowers comes up field and scores. That's twice, almost a carbon copy of his first goal of the night.
Who needs a pick? Like they set a pick for him, and there's just more traffic for him. Second time through, just a speed dodge. I mean, he's able to turn the corner.
5 minutes to go here in this first half. A half dominated by Duke. This game was 2-2 early, and the Blue Devils have just taken over. Here's O'Connor, the freshman. That's Lowry. He scored earlier in the game and scores again.
You can tell this team's got good chemistry because guys are coming off the bench and making plays, and the celebrations are...
Connecticut, fun spot. Coach Dino getting some players some playing time. Riley Walsh, good to see 42. Yeah, he's been banged up.
He scores big goals, Riley Walsh. I'll tell you that much. Kid's got confidence.
Plays on the field. There's a shot and a goal. J.P. Basile. See, here's another player who really emerged last year, was even the quarterback on this attack line for a good portion of those 6, 7, 8 games from last year, Q. We haven't even seen him tonight.
Senior from Garden City, 6'4", had, as you said, 14 assists last year. Slow session.
That was high point on that play. Here's Devin Buckshot. He's been banged up too. Had a rib injury in the first game against North Carolina. He's just been kind of trying to get back close to 100%. And Torpy said this was the first week in practice where he felt like he was 100%. Good pass in front. That's a goal. Beautiful look that time by Kevin Rogers and finished by Van Overbeek.
Kevin Rogers, the backside feed. How'd he see this? Look, he's leaning in, his eyes are up, boom, right to the backside. Games, players in the right spots. I'm seeing good effort, love the chemistry. I see no glaring weaknesses right now.
Charlie O'Connor got his hands free before the defender was able to make up ground, and Accra just barely got there. Duke will keep possession, though. Also had Naso and O'Connell winning faceoffs in that first half, sharing the responsibilities at the dot, and Mike Adler was also up to the task in net. Lowry with a couple of goals. Will he get a hat trick here? Up front, Michael Sowers. He'll score in a whole different variety of ways, as he just showed right there.
This is textbook. Team offense, double team drawn, move it to the adjacent man, and now the defense is trying to recover on that reaction off the rebound. Boom, he got right back up to his feet.
JT Giles Harris, now the long pass. Ooh, big hit. Robertson's able to keep possession, though. Now he'll fire a shot. Duke scores again. That's Jake Caputo.
He's a little bashful on this take, Chris, because he's cradling in and like, look at him like, no one's open, no one's open. No one's covering me either. I'm going to step in and rip it. Yeah, it's like, well. And A.J. Kiernan. It's going to be important in the SoCon, especially against Richmond. Richmond's more of a slow-down type team than High Point. Richmond's going to try to win draws and possess the ball.
Big shot and a goal. That's Hunter Vines. Young man from Tennessee finds the back of the net.
Vines has been impressive in this early season. Great speed, junior from Tennessee. He can ISO, he can invert. Well, I tell you, this whole preseason, or early part of the season, I should say, has been a real benefit. I give him credit for stepping up and scheduling. 2 against Carolina, 1 against Virginia, and a game against Duke. They have basically become a de facto ACC school, Chris, in terms of their COVID testing. So they've had to rise to the level of the ACC schools. That's gone tremendously.
Yeah, not a single positive test. Sowers! Whew, wow.
Transition. Duke taking that from goal to goal really quick.
Number 23, Michael Sowers.
Nice outlet. Good catch. Brower's played strong today. 43 in white, the lefty from Massapequa. And then look at that ball matriculate up the field, too. I mean, they just hop on a bus, and so I love it because it shows flexibility, agility in this COVID era, and that's where you come up with solutions. And Lacrosse is better for John Torpy scheduling these games.
Duke goes quickly. When you go quickly with that guy right there, it's going to end up in the back of the net quickly.
20. O'Neill with 5 on my score sheet. Running out of room. Face-off goal. Wing shot. Again, the change of levels. It's a low release, a sidearm shot. Look where the ball ends up, above the goalie's shoulder.
The clear successful
Nice
for
clear.
the Blue Devils. Yeah.
That's a really good clear. I love the way the midfielder in the middle of the field there, 12 in white, comes back to the ball and stays relative and doesn't run away from his defensive mates who may be getting pressured down low. That is terrific. Staying relative to the ball, working your way back, almost like a receiver running a comeback route.
Basile now the facilitator. Cross field, big shot, and a goal from Kevin Quigley.
Nice pass by Walsh. The assist, Basile. Skip pass to the weak side. Pro hop.
You've seen Jacksonville and Mercer.
Mercer's
And
much
talking
better
to Coach
now.
Bresci, Coach Bresci thought that Mercer was the 3rd best team in that conference. And
I agree. I agree
Jacksonville's
from what
not
we've seen.
bad either. Yeah. When they're healthy,
No,
too. We didn't even see them at 100%.
They were tough. I liked Mercer. I thought they fought.
Well, that's Asher Nolting right there to a T, isn't it?
Not sure. Kenny Brower kind of went down at the end of this play. Slow to get up. Doesn't look good. Nolting's, he's got a lot of power. He's a power forward, okay? He's going to back you into the goal competition, other than the Denver game in the last 2 years.
Talking to Coach Bresci earlier in the week, Q asked him what he thought the over-under total would be. He put a 42 number out there.
He did? Oh, I was going to say like 37.
That was more.
42.
Lars was more in that range. Now that's interesting too, because Lars said, "Yeah, well, because he wants to have 40, 45 face-offs a night with those 2 face-off guys, with Tucci and Tyre, the way they've been playing this year. Bresci wouldn't mind having 40, 45 draws a night.
Nolting's good.
This could be a quick goal here, and it is. Maea finishing for High Point.
Asher Nolting, 32, with the black jersey on the left side of your screen with the purple helmets that I love so much. He's got vision. Gosh, and he gets the ball out of his stick. He's great passing in transition. I have. They call this guy Mayo. Played for the Windsor Clippers.
Yep.
Indoor.
Yeah, Coach Torpy said this guy will run 7 miles a night. He's just all over the field. Will ride you like a banshee.
I think that's interesting because you
he
assume
isn't
that your crease man on offense is a stationary player. They put a GPS on Dan Lomas a couple years ago, and he ran more than 6 miles during a game as a crease attackman. Well, how is that possible?
Moulet scores again for the Blue Devils as he doubles his goal tally coming into this game, now with 4 on the year, a couple tonight.
Nice goal by Muley, who scored earlier on the extra man. Dad Jimmy, a longtime pro goal.
Nolting now looking to attack from X. Now he's goal line extended. Slide looked like it wanted to come. Couldn't quite get there. Lamb now fires it wide.
The misconception is, yeah, why should I cut? I'm not open. Well, you're dragging a defender down, let's say, to the goal line extended. It's opening up space behind you. So maybe someone that opens up a skip lane or the guy behind you, and you're occupying a defender.
That's patented shovel shot there by Asher Nolting. We've seen that so often, and he gets a goal here using it. Third of the night for Nolting.
Left-handed this time. Wants his right, comes back, but then keeps the stick.
Who does he remind you of, Q? Does he remind you of Cloutier? Just size, and to your point, he has the tricks. Quick goal by Basile.
The better passer.
Yeah.
Face-off goal. That Ginder, junior from...
He said, look, you know, like, when other players have come in, even great talented players like Miles, for example. Miles was just such a great athlete that Miles could beat you with an overhand shot. So you don't need to screw around. As Riley Walsh this time gets the goal.
Riley Walsh sighting, stick in a corner. I said it earlier, Riley Walsh is a confident player. He's immune to pressure. Okay, he's scored a lot of big goals in his career at Duke. He just rides.
Is this the year that Coach Breck really has them in a position to challenge in the Big Ten? They've played like it so far, and Connor Kirst makes them a different team out of that midfield spot, doesn't he?
Well, there's no non-conference games, so as it sits right now, worst-case scenario in my eyes, they're the, they'll finish 2 in the Big Ten, if not win it all by beating Maryland. They're really good. I was impressed with their attack. Sherilyn Beatties, Kirst, Kieran Mullins, just veterans. As Muley
with the hat trick.
Third.
Yeah.
Rutgers is legit. Good middies. Connor Kirst is playing attack. This kid, they got Shane Knobloch tearing it up as a freshman.
Yeah.
They got David Sprock. Transfer face-off man from St. John's. And a defense that really hasn't a plane. You got to go out to the Mile High City and face Bill Tierney, whose team is kind of gaining momentum. So I'm really interested to see that game. I think it'll be close.
Everybody feasting tonight. That's Phil Robertson. Like we said earlier, Q, it's a family affair tonight in Durham. The Caputo brothers scoring. And now it's time for Phil to join his brother Joe on the tally sheet. Now Connor Drake upfield. This is going to be a shot by Jaden. Save made by Parker Green, who's back in net for High Point. Jaden Carey on the shot. High Point with the clear. Final 2 minutes in this one. This game was tied at 2 apiece early after Kevin Rogers' goal for High Point, and then Duke just took command. 26-8 as the Panthers put another one on the board.
Kind of what I was referring to earlier, Chris. I think it's Caden Keller, 36.
It is, yes.
Lefty looks. They deserve a lot of credit. Today didn't go their way, but it'll make them better in the long run.
They'll have 9 days before taking the field again against VMI, coming up on the 19th of March. Robertson again. 27 goals for Duke. Q, you remember the last time Duke scored 27 goals in a game?
Yeah.
Right? It's right in your heyday, man.
Not so fast. ACC is stacked. Duke's got to be considered as one of the top in that grouping. Impressive showing, Chris. This really kind of blew me away. I was not anticipating this kind of score.
Historically, Duke and John Danowski, they usually throw you a stinker early on in the year before ACC play, but not so much this year. And if you thought it might be tonight, you certainly